all my lovely nestlings, and welcome to the second installment of my makeup collection and declutter of 2022. Today it's all about the base. Am I the only one who's hearing that song in It's All About the Base? Never mind, never mind, never mind. And if you're new, welcome. My name is Nikki. I am from the Netherlands, hence the accent. I'm also slightly Orcish and relatively vintage. Both are important in today's video. I also love spooky stuff, being creative, and makeup. I love trying out makeup. I love reviewing makeup. Makeup is my happy place, so I have accumulated quite a bit over, well, the past year. Let me explain some things. Though the slightly orcish means that I'm green. I am a light to light medium warm-ish olive, and relatively vintage means I'm 46. Both are important today because we're going to talk about base products. Also, my skin type it's quite normal. It can get a little bit dehydrated in winter when the heating is on, and in summer when it's hot as hell I'm sweaty. Who isn't, right? Let's get the pesky disclaimers out of the way. I actually don't really want to do them. I detest having to give disclaimers, but if I do not, then I will get questions. Trust me. So disclaimer number one is don't ask me for my decluttered makeup. It's not only weird, it's also rude. In my opinion, at least. What will happen to my decluttered makeup? If it is past its expiration date, so stinky and gross, I'm going to toss it. For the rest, I give first dibs to friends and family, and new things that have not been used will probably go in a giveaway, and everything else that remains I will be donating. Yes. Oh yeah, before I forget, if I declutter your favorite, yeah, it's not you. It's just that it doesn't work for me. I'm so happy to hear that it is your favorite. And let me know if what I keep or declutter, my experiences with the makeup, if that's the same as you. Let me know, because I love to hear. That's the beauty of makeup. There is something out there for everyone, right? Also, don't feel that you need to declutter your collection. Only do that if you need to. And I have a lot, yes, I'm well aware. I love collecting makeup. I love trying out makeup, and this is my job, so. And in the grand scheme of things, for being a YouTuber, I actually think that my collection is pretty small. But that's also relative. That's what she said. Let's get into the video. We are going to start with face primers. And I'm just going to start left to right. Probably, let's start with this one from e.l.f. I really enjoy this primer. It's no longer available. It's from the e.l.f. Retro Paradise, or from the Retro Paradise line. I do use it very often, actually. I'm halfway through, and even though you cannot get it anymore, I am still going to keep it. Then I'm going to go to the NYX Angel Veil. This is a skin perfecting primer. I really do enjoy this one, but I actually don't use it. I do like the feel of it, and it definitely blurs, but I don't know. I'm just not really into the pore blurring primers right now, so. And there's one that I actually like a little bit more, so I'm going to pass this one along. Then the Essence Fix and Last Makeup Gripping Jelly Primer. Yeah, the component looks gross, but I really enjoy this primer. If you want to have a cheap alternative to the Milk Hydro Grip, this is definitely the way to go. I really enjoy this one as well. So if I want a gripping primer that's very grippy, I grab this one, so it's staying. Then I have the Fenty Beauty True Matte. Now the weird thing is, I bought this as the hydrating one, but it's a true matte, and yeah, I do really like to use this one. So I think I'm halfway done with this as well. It's a 30ml or 15ml actually. I'm going to keep this one as well. Then I have the Rare Beauty one, which is the only illuminating primer that I have in my collection. And I really enjoy this. This just gives a nice, I don't know, a nice sheen, and I like to mix it into foundations as well on occasion, so that one's also staying. Honestly, I'm not going to declutter much in the primer section, just saying. The Catrice Perfector Poreless Blur Primer. Yeah, I like the feel on my skin a little bit more. It's just a little bit softer without giving a very powdery feeling, so I'm going to keep this one as well. This is actually my favorite Catrice primer right now, the Love Skin Respect Earth. Now unfortunately they don't sell this one where I live anymore, but I'm glad that I have one, or at least not in store. I actually checked the Hydro Primer from this line that they have, but it's a very sticky primer and that's not what I'm looking for in a primer from Catrice. So I hope that I can still find this online when I run out, but this is actually my second tube. It's nice and hydrating. It's not a really gripping primer, but it gives me a little bit of grip, but especially hydration. I really love this, so it's staying. And then the last one that I have is from Revolution, the Kombucha Skin Shot. I love this primer as well. I use this so much, especially in summer. When I want a lightweight hydrating primer, but I don't really go for a sticky primer right then, because I don't know, I have a foundation that grips enough, then this is the one that I use. And the nice thing about this is even though it's a gripping primer, it gives me a little bit of slip because it takes a little bit longer to get tacky. Sometimes I want that, especially with my Lisa Eldridge foundation. I kind of want that extra slip a little bit, then this one is perfect, so that's staying as well. So yeah, in the primers I'm going to declutter 1 and I'm going to keep 7. So this is what I'm keeping and this is what I'm getting rid of. I knew I wouldn't declutter a lot here, but I love what I'm keeping, so that's going to go to the side. And we are going to go to eye primers. So a little bit about the eye primers. Technically I had 18 eye primers. I had a mishap with my software, with my card. It doesn't matter, but I technically had 17, but I had already tossed one and I cannot find it anymore. That was the ABH primer, so that I'm still going to count that as one because I can. But the ABH primer, I liked the primer, but it's too pink on me, and that's what happens. I'm an olive, and if I have a primer that has a hint of pink in it, like the ABH, it turns grey. So I actually tossed that one. But let's start now with this one from V Cosmetics. This is actually a black base. It's the only black eyeshadow base that I have. This was part of a mystery box. I tried it once, and I really want to try it more. So I don't really have an opinion on it yet, otherwise, but it's staying. So yeah. Then this one from Sphinx Cosmetics. Sphinx Cosmetics is actually a Dutch brand and they were kind enough to send me a small PR package. I have not tried this base yet though. Okay, so let's see how it feels, because it looks a little bit like the Too Faced one. It also kind of feels like the Too Faced one, although it seems to sink in a little bit quicker. Interesting. I really want to try this, so it's staying. Then the Sigma Prime. When I started getting into makeup, this is the one that I actually used, but can I open it? That would be nice. Oh, thank you. I'll show you what it does on me. That's what it does on me. Can you see? It warps my eyeshadows. The formula for me is not what I'm looking for, so I am actually going to declutter this one. Then let's go to the Makeup Revolution Prime and Lock Longwear Eyeshadow Primer. Now this is actually more of a concealer base. I don't like to use this as an eyeshadow primer. It feels too heavy for me. However, if there's a palette that I have in my collection that I want to do an eye swatch video with, this is actually the primer that I grab, because I need the added moisture that this one has. So for that reason and that reason only, it is staying. Does it do? Yeah, you can already tell. It's also a pink base. This is also what the ABH one does on me, but it's staying because of the hydration. I wish the color was a little bit different, but what can you do about it? Then I have here from Catrice the Waterproof Mattifying Eyeshadow Primer. If I want a primer that has a lot of stick, this is the one that I grab. It's a very liquidy primer, and you can see that it's almost a little bit purple. When I tap it out, it kind of fades away a little bit because it's not very pigmented, but this stays tacky for so long. It's just insane. So if I have an eyeshadow formula that's very soft and I want to have kind of an intense eye look, this is actually the primer that I grab, so I'm going to keep it. Then this is the one from Essence, the Prime Like a Boss eyeshadow base. This is the one that I've been using so much. It's a clear base. It gives me everything that I want. It gives me grip. It gives me blendability. It doesn't warp my eyeshadows because the base is clear. I really enjoy this. The downside is it's only available in Europe as far as I know. But this is actually one of my favorite primers, so it's definitely staying. Then the Natasha Denona base in light. I actually finished up the medium almost all the way through. The light, I like it. I don't like it as much as the medium, but it's a color thing here. So this is very peach. And if you have a peach undertone, then this is perfect for you. But for me, it's not. So I have others that I know that I'll keep. So this one I'm going to let go. Then I have the Juvia's Place primer in shade 1. Let's shake it up. Now this eye base, undertone wise, it was actually not bad. It was the closest that I came to my skin tone. But I'm not really impressed by this primer. I don't know. It doesn't really do it for me, if that makes any sense. It was just I think for me it's a little bit too dry. So not that I have dry eyelids, but I want a little bit more hydration, and I felt that this one sank in so quickly that yeah, I could just have easily not put anything on. So, but that is me. So I'm going to declutter that one too. Then the Too Faced Shadow Ensures. I love this one. I use this a lot. What can I say? It keeps my shadows in place. It kind of does have a base tint a little, but when you tap it out, it does not really. And I just really enjoy this one. So this and the Essence one are actually my most used primer, so that one is staying. Then the one from Glam Shop. The one from Glam Shop. This one surprised me because, are you watching? Can you see this color? It's green. And I was not expecting it. So this is actually the base that I'm using today. You cannot see it, but this is the one that I'm using today. And I'm trying this one out, and so far I really like it. But if you're on olive, especially a warm olive, this one is definitely something I would recommend. You get quite a bit. It is kind of like a concealer consistency, but way lighter and thinner in feeling than the Revolution one. I really enjoy it. So I'm going to keep that. Now I'm going to go to shimmer primers, and I'm going to start with two regular shimmer primers basically, and that's the NYX glitter primer and the Glimmer Grasp from Unearthly Cosmetics. They are actually the same. So if you like the NYX, you will like the Glimmer Grasp and vice versa. For me though, unfortunately, it doesn't work. Both crease very much. Now, I knew that the NYX one creased on me. This is, I think, actually a new tube. Maybe I have used this once. I don't know, but I have used this a lot and I really enjoyed it, and then all of a sudden it started creasing on me, and I've tried it every which way. I got a lot of tips, I tried them all, it just does not work for me. It creases within 5 minutes, so I'm getting rid of this. Same with this, unfortunately. So as I said, if you love the NYX glitter primer, you will love this as well, and you get a crap ton. You get 1.5 or 15 mils, and the NYX one is 10 mil and this one is 15 mil. Yeah, it's the same, the exact same as the NYX glitter primer. So for me, unfortunately, it doesn't work. I'm going to declutter that as well. And then we have here my gel bases. If you find that the NYX glitter primer creases on you, or any other glitter primer or shimmer primer creases on you, try a gel base. Honestly, it's a life changer. So let's start from, I don't know, small to big, because I can. Let's start with this one from Glam Shop. This one has a doe foot. It's actually the only one that has a doe foot. I really do enjoy this one. The only downside that I find with this is that it dries extremely quickly. So it's almost when you, maybe I can show you, when you put it on, because that's how I use it, and then I pick it up with my brush, I can almost see it evaporating. It keeps my shimmers and my shiny bits very well in place, but I need to use a little bit more than the other gels, and I need to work a little bit quicker. So that is the only thing, but I am going to keep it because I really do enjoy it. Then we have here from Alien Cosmetics, which is now Unearthly Cosmetics. It was the gel base that she had. It's almost gone. This actually evaporated pretty quickly because I think I forgot to put the cap back on that this came with. So it's user error. And she also doesn't sell this anymore. So I am going to declutter this technically. However, I'm going to keep the component. So it is being decluttered, but I'm going to reuse the jar that it came in. Still going to count though as a declutter because I can. Then I have here the one from Carla Cosmetics. I don't really like this one. This is the Fix Potion. And why? This one, it's very watery. So when I grab a little bit out and I put it on the back of my hand, it's kind of melting. It's very interesting and very weird, but it's too watery for what I go for. I want a little bit more substance. I know that a lot of people really love this one though, but for me, I don't know. I feel like I'm putting water on my eyelids, and that's not really what I want. So I'm going to declutter this as well. Then this is my baby. This is not going anywhere. If you have followed me for a little while longer, you know that I've been raving about this ever since I got it. This is from Death and Candy Custom Creations. This is her Liquid Life Gel Base. You see the humongous pot I have, and I'm so happy that I have it. She's based in the USA. She also has a gluten-free option though, if you're interested. This is what I use every time I do shimmers on the lid. This is what I use. You can also use it to make a liner with. You can use it as a glitter gel. You can use it basically as a base gel for glitters, pigments and whatever you want. So yeah, this ain't going anywhere. No, it's not going anywhere. So let's give you a count then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, technically I'm decluttering 8. Remember the ABH one? I'm just going to count it as 1 because I can. I'm keeping 9 and I'm decluttering. Well, technically I'm decluttering 8, but I have 7 here in front of me. So there is that. I think that is a very, very nice, it's almost half. And what I have left, I know that I'll really, really enjoy and use regularly. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Next, I'm going to go to concealers. So these 3 from Catrice. I have Neutral Ivory, Warm Macadamia and Warm Olive. Before I started color correcting, I used concealers to color correct. However, these are pretty old. I think they're 2 years old now. And I'm just going to be on the safe side and toss these. So I'm going to declutter those. I'm also going to declutter this one. I actually swatched it here. Now what I do like is that it's kind of self-setting. But I think I used it once or maybe twice in summer. And if I need it again in summer, I would actually rather repurchase. Because I think that coming summer, this one will have gone bad. So, and I don't have any. It doesn't really smell bad yet, but it has a funky scent. So I'm just going to declutter that one as well. Let's go to the Kosas ones that I have, which I love so much. These are actually my most used concealers right now. Now, this is the shade 3.2, which I think is to here. So I really want to repurchase this one. This is 5.5, which I used in summer. Now, unfortunately, in the height of summer, it's actually too light for me. So what I would rather do is basically repurchase come summer the shade 5.5 and then a shade darker. But I think I really do need one of the 3.20. I need a new one. But these are both staying. I love them a lot. They're nice and hydrating. They just have a very, very pretty finish. Then let's go to the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Infinite in 5.7. Now this is my very pale winter shade. Let's kind of compare it to this one because I'm actually quite curious. Yeah, this is a little bit warmer. So the 3.2 concealer from Kosas is a little bit warmer. This is a little bit more to the neutral side. So this is color-wise better for me. It's also kind of self-setting. I think I'm going to keep it. Yes, I am. Okay, then we have the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Creamy Concealer in Light 50W. I actually got this in PR. I don't like this concealer. I like the formula of it. It is nice and hydrating. It looks the best when I don't powder it, but if I don't powder it, it creases like a mother effer. And if I do powder it, it does funky things underneath my eyes. So unfortunately, I'm going to declutter this and pass that one along to, I don't know, my niece or something. Then the last one that I have is from Rare Beauty in the shade 230N. This is also such a nice concealer. It's actually kind of smack in the middle. It's maybe a little bit more yellow toned and a hint lighter actually than the 3.0. Oh, really? That's interesting. Yeah. Or did I accidentally swatch this one? Oh, I accidentally swatched that one. I made a boo-boo earlier. So this is the shade 3.2 from Kosas, which is almost the same as the Rare Beauty one, which is actually very, very nice, in case you were wondering. I really like the Rare Beauty one, so that is staying as well. Okay, so ooh, I did well here. I wanted to say I did good, but that's not good English. I started with 8 concealers and I am decluttering half. Nice! I deserve a treat. A new concealer. Okay, so here are all my foundations. Well, actually no, because I'm missing one. So I have 18 foundations in total. However, let's start with that one then, which is from Fenty. The shade 290 is not here right now, but it is coming back. So I am going to include that. The shade 290 I used so much in summer. I loved that foundation in summer. Especially if I don't know, I had a long day, you know, and it was Hot as Hell, which we had this summer. I love that foundation. So that foundation is definitely staying. The shade 145. It's too warm for me, it's too yellow for me, so I need to use my blue corrector to tone it down a bit. And it's a matte foundation. I don't know. I thought I would declutter it. I actually used it not too long ago because I had a birthday party from my bestie. I used this one. It actually looked quite nice, but I do have to prep my skin correctly. It's going to go in the maybe pile for now. I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about it. So 290 I'm definitely keeping. 145 I'm not sure yet. Let's go to the face palette. This is from Saint Makeup. And as you can see, it's a face palette. This shade June, it's, as you can see, pretty olive, but in summer it worked very, very well for me. I love this shade. So this is basically the bronzer shade in olive. I like the color, but I don't really like the formula. The formula for me is a little bit too stiff. The shade Rose Gold, which is their highlighter. It's better now that it's a bit colder here in my room, and I think it is pretty. Then we have Saint-Tropez, which looks gross, cat hair, which also is a little bit of a stiffer formula, which, yeah, it's okay. I think the color is pretty too. I do want to play with it a little bit more, but I am going to keep this, yes. Okay, let's go to this one, which is from La Manufacture, which is basically customize your own foundation. And this is then the jar that it comes in. The foundation itself, the consistency is very, very nice. The finish is beautiful. I love the concept that you just basically scan your face and get your perfect color match. But for me it didn't work because it did not measure the oliveness in my skin. So I am going to declutter that. Okay. Let's next go to this one, which is from House Labs. I love this foundation. This is in the shade 190 Light Cool. Now it's not light. Let me just tell you that it's more towards the medium than towards the light, but the finish is stunning. I really, really enjoy this foundation. I do have to lighten it up, but that's okay. I have a mixer for that. Yeah, this is not going anywhere. I think this is a stunning foundation. Next, let's go to this one from Catrice, the True Skin in Warm Olive. I do like the foundation. It's nice. It doesn't make my face dry out. It's a little too warm for me, so I have to kind of tone it down a bit, which is fine. But I am going to declutter this because I just don't use it often enough. I have other foundations that I actually grab for in summer, and this is just one that gets forgotten. So I'm going to declutter that. Oh yes, you are in the maybe pile. Let's go to this one from Urban Decay, the Stay Naked in 30 CG. I have enjoyed this foundation a lot. It's almost empty, but I don't really enjoy the foundation anymore. I feel like it kind of emphasizes everything, and yeah, I'm just going to declutter this. Yeah, it's the way that it is. Oh, let's go to this one. So let's go to Kosas next. So let's go to this one first, which is the Revealer Skin Improving Foundation in the shade 160 Light Neutral Olive. I really enjoy this foundation, especially in winter when my face is a little bit drier, so this one is definitely staying. It's nice and hydrating. This is the Tinted Face Oil from Kosas in 5.5. I bought it this summer because I thought it would be a good idea. I don't know why I thought that, because I do not like this at all. I actually had to pull it out of a drawer because I'm kind of like, maybe I can use it on my legs, you know, in summer or something like that. But yeah, I don't like this at all. The oil, it does sink in, but I don't like the feeling of the color particles on my fingers or on my face. It just doesn't work for me, so I'm going to declutter that one. The Halo from Smashbox, I really like this one. This is in light olive. This is not light though. This is not light, this is more medium. I really enjoy the finish. I enjoy the color. I enjoy the product very, very much so. This is more for me in summer though, the Smashbox Halo. I am going to hang on to that one. Let's go to Lisa Eldridge next. I have the shade 9 here and I have the shade 16. So the shade 9 is a neutral olive and the shade 16 is a warm olive. This is more my summer color and I use this quite a bit in summer. I really enjoy it. I do have to use a little bit of blue color corrector because it's a hint too warm, but that's okay. But I love this. When my face is just a little bit more, I don't know, oily because it's hot outside, I really enjoy this finish. So I'm definitely going to keep shade 16. The shade 9, however, I actually have it on my face today because I wanted to try it out again and I love the finish of it. However, now that the heating is on, my face is a little bit drier and I have to prep my skin very well. But I cannot over prep it because if I over prep my skin, this kind of looks a little bit weird. If I prep it correctly, it's nice. It looks pretty, but honestly, I enjoy my House Labs foundation so much more than this one in winter that I am going to declutter this one. I never really thought I would, but I am. I have someone in mind for this and I hope she'll like it. So yeah, I'm going to declutter my Lisa Eldridge number 9. Wow, I never really thought I would, but yeah, you know, and that is also it. From year to year, your skin can change and the preferences in foundation can change, or you just find a new foundation that you like more. It happens. Let's go to these two from Glam Shop. So this is the shade Olive 1, which is my very, very depth of winter. I'm living under a rock pale foundation. What I use this, I love the finish by the way, but what I use this most for actually is to lighten up and mix into other foundations. So for instance, the one from Woma, the finish of these two is the same. So I also use these two together a lot because the finish is the same. Now in summer I could use this one on its own. But yeah, as I said, I use them together a lot. I am going to keep this one. I really love the finish. I'm also going to keep the Woma one, which I have in Honey Honey T1N, which was perfect for me in summer. And I really love the finish of this foundation. This one from Glam Shop, which is in the shade 1.75. It's one of their new illuminating ones. I haven't tried it yet. So I'm going to keep it because I want to try it. Looking at it, maybe a little bit too cool tone for me, but I can warm it up, no problem. But I want to try that one, so that's staying. Then let's go to this, the e.l.f. Camo CC Cream in light 240. This finish I love so much. I think it's a stunning product. If they ever come out with an olive shade, I'm going to buy it. As it stands now, I have to make it an olive, which I can with my blue color corrector. But honestly, I just don't use it anymore. So I am going to pass this one along to someone, hopefully, that will really, really love it. I really enjoy the finish. I think it's a stunning product. Let's go to the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation in the shade 5 Neutral, which is pretty olive for me at least. I like this product a lot. So yeah, I think I have a dedicated video with this on my channel. I really do like this product, so I'm going to keep it. I think that the finish is stunning. The Revolution Pro CC Perfection Foundation in the shade 5.7. This shade match is so spot on for me in winter, but I haven't used this in a long time. I think in almost a year. So I think this is actually time. It survived my last declutter, but I think it's time to let her go. Okay, that was the last foundation that the Fenty in 145. So it is too warm for me, but I know that. I do like it though. I kind of like the fact that I don't have to set it. I think I'm going to keep it. I think I'm going to keep it for another round and we'll see again next year. So let's recap. I started with 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm decluttering 7. And I'm kind of looking, because I'm realizing it's a lot of foundations that I have. Granted, I have not tried this one yet, but the rest I do really love. So, and I have a combination of winter and summer foundations here. So I'm happy with this. Yes, I am. The last thing that I have are setting powders. I have 11 powders and I have a combination of pressed and loose. So let's start with the pressed first, because I can. So let's start with these. Let's start with this one from Makeup Revolution and the Beetlejuice collection. This is a white, you can see it's a white powder, right? I do really enjoy this one, and that was actually quite surprising that I like this one so much. Now, I don't really like it underneath my eyes, but I like it on the rest of my face, so I am keeping this one. Then I'm going to go to the Kosas one. I'm a little bit on the fence with this one. I like the fact that it is finely milled, but I kind of feel like I need more powder than I actually want to use from this. I also like other powders better. I hardly grab for this one. So I am going to declutter it. Yes, I am. Doll Face Beauty, the Blot and Blur Matte Translucent Powder. I love the component. I think it looks very, very pretty. Also a very fine milled powder, but honestly, I never reach for this powder. Other to, I don't know, blend out my eyeshadow, but I can also do that with other face powders that I have. I think it's finally time to let this one go. It survived my last declutter. But I don't use it. I just don't use it. So let's next go to this one from Kiko. This is the Waterflower Magic Perfecting Powder. It's an illuminating, well, it's a buffing powder actually. You can see that mine is broken. Unfortunately it fell, but I really, really love this powder. I actually need a new one. This is just so finely milled and it's gorgeous to use as a setting powder underneath your eyes. I can also use it to buff or set my entire face. I love this powder a lot, so it is staying. Then let's go to my Charlotte Tilbury one. So I have the medium and I have the light. The light I use so much. I don't know if you can see, but I have a dip in there. The light one is definitely staying because I love the powder. I don't use it as much as the light one, but I do use it in summer. I do really like this powder. I want to try the translucent one. It's actually one of the few pressed powders that I really enjoy. I think I'm going to hang on to this one for a little while longer. Yeah. So let's go to my loose setting powders then. And I have to say that I prefer loose setting powders over pressed. I really do. Let's start with this one, which is from from Revolution Pro, and this is their Hydra Matte. I kind of have a love-hate relationship with this one. I think it's kind of a weird powder. It does work. It's very finely milled, but I don't know. Sometimes I also feel like it's kind of sucking the life out of my face. I can use it in summer, but honestly I grab for another powder in summer. I actually like I have the empty component here. The Infinite Loose Powder from Makeup Revolution. This is empty. This one I really, really love, and I actually want to repurchase that one. This one I am going to declutter. Then this one is from Kiko Milano. I also have the original component here, which still contains some powder. So this is, I don't know who thought this was a good idea. This is atrocious. But so I actually put it in a different component. I love this powder. This is so finely milled. It has a hint of a sheen without making you look like a glitter ball. It just brings a little bit of life back. So I love to use this with foundations that are a little bit more, that have a matte finish. So for instance, the Fenty one, this is just a very, very pretty powder. And yeah, I'm not going to get rid of that one. Let's go next to my House Labs, which is the Bio Blurring Loose Setting Powder in Translucent. I really do enjoy this powder as well. I like the sifter system. I think the powder is very, very pretty. So I'm keeping this one too. I wish the shade was a little bit lighter though. I think that actually her entire range is pretty dark, but I am keeping this. Now I have two from Glam Shop here as well. I have the HD powder. It has one ingredient, which is silica. I love this powder. I've used half and it's a humongous tub. I don't know how much you get, 12 grams. That's a lot. I really, really love this powder. So especially in summer or with a foundation that has a little bit more, I don't know, luminosity or anything. This is just a very finely milled matte powder that I really, really enjoy. So that one is staying. It needs to go there. Then this one from Glam Shop, which is their illuminating powder. I don't like this. The weird thing is that consistency wise it kind of reminds me of the House Labs a little bit, but this I feel like makes my face look cakey. It is finely milled though. It's just that I don't know. I don't like it. It's too much of a sheen for what I like. It's still kind of a subtle sheen, but I just don't like it. I've tried it a few times. I don't like the powder. So, and also I always struggle with closing the thing. I'm going to declutter that one as well. That was my face powders, right? Yeah, so let's recap then. So yeah, face powder wise, it's I started with, how many did I start with? 11. I'm going to declutter 4 and I'm keeping the rest, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm keeping 7. I'm actually happy with my declutter. Yeah, I think so. So of the 71 products that I started with in total, I'm keeping 44 and I'm decluttering 27. So that is, I don't know, about a third. And I'm happy with that. I'm just happy to have things in my collection that really, really work for me. And I hope that me explaining why stuff didn't work for me helps you out as well. If there are any foundations or, you know, concealers or powders or anything else that you're like, I think that you will really, really like that, let me know down below in the comment section. I'm actually today wearing the one from Glam Shop that I mentioned. I think that the finish is very, very pretty. I'm going to try it out a little bit more, but I do think it's very pretty. So I will let you know my final thoughts in a future video. But yeah, that is it. The next installment will be blush and bronzer. I have cream blushes, powder blushes, and then cream and powder bronzers, and that will be the next video in this series. If you want to see the rest of my makeup collection and hear my thoughts on it, and you know, just love declutters as much as I do, and I can also tell you I'm a swatcher, just so you know, then make sure that you are subscribed to my channel. And if you are still here, leave me any hand emoji. You can even leave me the middle finger. Why? I don't know. I felt it appropriate. Because I like to tap in certain base products with my fingers. Let's do that. Let's go for any hand emoji. Just for funsies. And then that is going to be it. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down in the comment section below. I'm going to wish you a fantastic day, a fabulous evening. May your foundation always match your neck. Or use a color corrector. That helps heaps, and I will see you soon in my next video. Bye guys.